Hey everyone, I'm SaucyNoodles and welcome to our very first Let's Play Retro series. Today's game was released all the way back in the year 2000. Since then, it's become a cult classic that I and many others like me continue to go back to. So without further ado, let's play Space Empires 4. SaucyNoodles in space. Space Empires 4 Deluxe. Let's start a brand new game. Now, when you start a new game in Space Empires 4, you're going to be bombarded with a whole bunch of different information here. Now, there is a little bit of a learning curve with this game, but once you get over that learning curve, it's actually a lot of fun if you're into these kind of strategy games. So, let's just walk through the way that I would normally set up a map, and we'll go from there. So up in the top left here we have our various different menus, and we're going to go through here one at a time and just kind of tweak the settings the way that I like it. This here is your quadrant, and this will be the universe as we know it. We're going to leave that as it is. We're going to make this a large map so that way the game is just longer. And I'm going to leave all of these the way they are except for finite resources. Now you get most of your resources from planets, sometimes stars, sometimes asteroids and whatnot. But if you don't click this, if you leave it like that, it's just an unlimited amount of resources coming from those places. If you hit finite resources, it makes the game a little bit more interesting by having each planet only have so many resources to provide for you. There is technological advances that you can do later in the game that will help you replenish the resource pool of each one of these locations, but that's not until much later. So that looks good. Now the events, like most of these kind of games, are your random acts of chaos. So this could be a plague, this could be a massive fire, this could be one of your ships blowing up, and I'm gonna make this even more interesting and go medium catastrophic. Technology cost, I'm just going to leave as is. The player settings, so this is how me and the other players that could be playing are affected. So here we have our starting resources, the value of our resources, of our starting planet, how many starting planets we get, so on and so forth. Empire placement, allowed to start in the same system. So this will mean like if you have more than one you can have more than one race start in the same system as you, and then you immediately start battling for dominance in that system. It's fun, but we're going to leave it off for the time being. And your score display, technology low for new players. We're going to leave all of it the way it is. I am going to bump up the racial points just a little bit, and you'll see that come up shortly here as we make our new character. So this is the Players tab. And here we are going to add our empire. And my empire name is going to be the Pie Makers. And my empire type is going to be an empire. My title will be Emperor. And my name, of course, is SaucyNoodles. Beautiful. Now let's find a picture. This is what our guys will look like, our race, and this is the kind of ships that we'll be using. Lots of choices. Lots of choices. But I think I'm just going to stick with that guy, because dinosaurs in space are awesome. We'll use a minister style. Minister will take care of your planets for you. If you select them to do so, they'll take care of your planets for you. You just don't have to micro control them. And we're going to select that to defensive. And it looks good. Okay, so that was the first tab in the player's settings. Now, our environment that our race can handle looks like this. We can currently only breathe oxygen, and there are obviously different types of environments on different planets, and there's 3 different types of planets: rock, ice, and gas giant, and we can only be on rock. Of course, you can also change those if you want to, but I'm just going to leave it as is. It doesn't really matter when you first start out. Your culture will be how your population reacts and responds. And let's see. I'm going to be scientist dinosaurs in space. Now, if you want to know what each of these different things do, I mean, you can read it, but you can also go over here into the modifier comparisons, and it shows you what each one does as opposed to your stats. All right, so we have production and so on and so forth. In here, if you don't know what these mean, they are down here. So yeah, we're going to be scientists in space. Dinosaur scientists in space. And remember I was telling you before about the racial traits? That's what this screen is for. There's actually this screen and this screen here. This one will help you just give better percentages on various things. And this one here, there's one that I always like to do in here. And where is it? There it is. Propulsion experts. All space vehicles get 1 additional movement point. And now you see I've just lost 1,000 racial points. And then I'm going to put the rest of them around here. Maybe, I think there was one other one that I wanted to do in here as well. Natural merchants. Supply users possible. I guess not. Oh, maybe this one. Yeah, populations do not grow angry or happy. Yeah. There's, it gets a little annoying. Oh, wait, no, I don't have enough racial points. So we'll have to deal with that. One of the mechanics of this game is your populations on your planets. Depending on what you do for them, and according to their culture and characteristics, they'll either really like you or not like you and revolt. And that's not fun. So let's see. Over here, we're going to spend the rest of our points. And what do I want to put them in? Well, mineral production is always a thing. So we're gonna let's put just 20% in here. Say 20%. We got 1,500 racial points left. Space yard rate, repair rate, maintenance rate. Let's do some percentage to ship attack, ship defense, and happiness, which we were just referring to. Perfect. Alright. I like it. Let's go to advanced traits. We already did that, where we have 1 additional movement for all of our ships. And here we can write in descriptions, you know, if you want to get really crazy with the role-playing, you know, biological description. The pie makers make pies. You know, things like that. Here's some for your society, your general history. I can see this being a lot of fun if you are playing in a multiplayer setting. However, because this game is so old, trying to get this game in a multiplayer setting is a little difficult. So we're just going to play a whole bunch of computers today. Now, our happiness type. This is what I was referring to earlier. This is what will make your species? No. Yes. From revolting or being very happy and populating your planet. So depending on what kind of style that you play, you're going to want to select one of these. And I am all about domination, so we're just going to go bloodthirsty. There we go. Populations love wars and the destruction of their enemies. They respond poorly to any combat, losses, or peace of any kind. We're going to go impulsive demeanor. There we go. Good. So there we are. The Pie Maker's Empire. Now down here it'll show our computer player options. We're going to have lots of computer players. We're going to make their difficulty high because they are kind of soft and squishy and easy in this game. So we're going to try to make it as high as possible. And why don't we give them a little bit of a bonus as well? Let's go medium. Who knows? I probably won't survive, but we'll make it fun. Now, in here are your victory conditions, and you can select one of these to determine how the game ends. I personally like doing this game in a total universal domination kind of way. I am not satisfied until everybody has either joined my empire or is dead. So we're just going to leave this open. Maximum number of units allowed in space. We're going to up this to, let's see, 3,000. And maximum number of ships allowed in space per player. We're going to up this to 1,000. Or let's bump this to 5. Your units in space is going to be like your drones and your mines and satellites, and your ships are obviously your ships. And once you hit this amount, you can't put anything more in space. You have to go and demolish or get rid of your other stuff. And we're going to set this to autosave frequency every turn, and everything looks good. Alright, so now that we have all of our settings set, let's start the game. Ooh. So we are starting, this is our map of the universe over here and what we know of it. And right now we only know of this system right here, Dirtran. And this is my home planet in Dirtran. Now there are 2 warp points into Dirtran. And this warp point here is going to go to this system right here. And we haven't explored it yet, so we have no idea what's in there. And obviously this warp point here will go down to here, I think, most likely. So, how do we play this game? Now, the whole point of this game really is to conquer the universe. At least that's the victory settings that we have selected. So what we're going to try to do is first we're going to populate everything that we can in here. Now, there's only one planet available to us, and I know that because this planet here has this little red star on it. The little red star, sometimes they're green, sometimes they're red, will show us the planets that we can populate. If it's a red star, that means that we can populate it. It's a rock, and that's the type that we have chosen. However, it only has a carbon dioxide atmosphere, and we breathe oxygen. So essentially, we're going to have to build little biodomes on this planet in order to populate it. And this planet here also has ancient ruins from a long dead civilization. So when we populate this planet, we will automatically get a bonus for our research, which is up here. And I'll go into that in a little bit. So the first thing I want to do is design a ship to populate this planet. And how we do that is we go into our ship designs, and we make sure the ship designs is selected, and we hit create. Create ship. Now there's a few other options in here depending on what we want to do, but we're just going to go ship right now. Select our vehicle size, colony, ship. Beautiful. Our design type is going to be a colony rock. And we're going to name this Conqueror. I don't even know if I spelled that right. That's the Canadian version of spelling Conqueror. And we're going to name this, label this 1.0. Why am I doing this? Because as we researched various things, these are going to go up in rank, and they're going to be able to do more for us. So we're going to have more advanced ships later on that we can upgrade to, but for the time being, we're just going to be 1.0. Now down here we have a bunch of warnings. This is telling us the things that we need to have in this ship for it to be functional. So we have to have at least one bridge. We have to have at least one life support. We need one crew quarter. And 50% of their spaces must be used for colony modules, which is going to be this. Now as you see, these are our components, and we can have as many components as our ship can hold. And that is indicated up here by the space used. Right now we are currently using 230 kilotons out of 300 kilotons available space on this ship. So let's add some other things to this ship to make it more awesome. Right now this ship has 0 movement. That means if I launch it right now, it's just going to sit in orbit and do nothing. So let's give it some engines. Every time I select one of these, you'll notice that the movements go up. Now, this ship can only hold a maximum of 5 engines, so we can only have 5 spaces. And I'm pretty sure I selected that racial trait where I get 1 extra movement per ship, so this will actually be able to move 6 spaces. We still have 20 kilotons left, so I'm going to put in 1 supply storage. A supply storage will give us more supplies, and that's indicated down here. Supplies will allow your ship to be out in space longer, depending on how many supplies you have, before it has to go back to one of your colonies that has a supply depot. And if it runs out of supplies, its movement speed goes down to 1. And if you leave a ship long enough without supplies, bad things are going to start happening to it. So now that we have that full, let's create the design. Beautiful. We now have one design, Conqueror 1.0 colony ship prototype. It's a prototype because we haven't built anything yet. So let's close that, and let's go into the building queue of this planet, our only planet. Now this little indicator here on our info screen for our planet it indicates that we have a shipyard in this planet, so we can build ships here. So let's build a colonizing ship. Perfect. As you see, under construction, Conqueror 1.0, it's going to take 0.2 years. Every turn is 0.1 years, so this is going to take 2 turns to make. Now, this is pretty much all we can do for this turn. We can also set our research. Now, your research is something that happens passively in the background. And right now, we have this many research points, 23,625 research points. That's because we have a couple research facilities, I believe, over here, maybe? Or is it just something that we automatically have? Oh, there we go. So we have 5 research facilities on this planet all ready for us. This planet's nice and full, ready to get us started. The more research facilities you have, the higher the research points over here, comes up over here, and the faster things will research. So what are we going to research today? Let's see. Well, let's get our weapons up just a little bit, because right now we're kind of just throwing stones in space. So we're going to choose that and that. And I'm not going to divide the points evenly, but I am going to repeat the project. So this will just do it one at a time, over and over again for these 2 selected upgrades. Perfect. Now I believe we've done everything that we can do for our very first turn. So we're going to go end turn. And when we do this, the other races, so there's probably about 20 of them or so, are going to all have a turn as well and do the same thing. Confirm. Excellent. So we've already researched our first scientific research, and that is an upgrade to our depleted uranium cannon. We haven't built any depleted uranium cannons yet, so this doesn't really affect us, but it will shortly. Now, our Conqueror, our colonizer for this planet, it still has 1 turn left, and there's not much else we can do at this point, so let's end our turn. Perfect. Alright, so we have our first Conqueror 1.0 constructed. A new Conqueror 1.0 has been built at the Detron 2 in the Detron system Sire. Let's go to it. So here we have it already selected, Detron 2. This is what's in orbit. So we have the planet with an empty building queue, and we have our Conqueror that is ready to go. Now, right now, this is just an empty ship. It's got our crew on there, but it doesn't have any cargo. In this case, that cargo would be some population that is going to be used to colonize this planet. So now that we've put some colonizers on our colonizer, we're going to move him to here. And we're going to select colonize right there. All right. And it looks like there's also some ancient ruins on that planet as well. Oh no, there was. We already saw that earlier. So the moment that we get in here, something else is going to happen. Now, this is our value for the planet, and we have a finite amount of resources. So I am going to just select this as a mining colony, just because we're going to need some resources pretty quick here. Now, we have a colonized Detrin 1 planet. Right now, there are no facilities, and we can have a max of 4 facilities on there. So let's select its build queue, and let's put some facilities on there. We're going to have a mineral miner facility, which will produce these minerals. Our organics farm, which is right here. And our rad extraction facility, which is right here. These all do different things. This is for your population. This is kind of like a money source. And this is energy for your ships. Perfect. Now we have one more room for facilities. And I'm going to put in a research center as well to help boost our researching. Perfect. So now if we select that planet, you'll see this under construction queue, which leads me to believe that there are things being built here right now. Its building queue has stuff in it, and right now it is currently working on the mineral miner facility 1, and it has 1 turn left. Perfect. Hey everyone, this is SaucyNoodles, and thanks for watching my first episode of Let's Play Space Empires 4. Check out my next episode where we explore our neighboring solar systems and even make first contact. Will they be friendly? Will they be evil? Will they try to sell us cheap wares? Also, if you enjoyed this series, hit that like button and join us by subscribing below. Take care everyone, and stay saucy.